explain to me what social media is to you. Like, how do you feel about it?
I love and I hate it. I'm sure everybody said that. But I like it because it's like, you know, connects you with people, keeps me in touch with people I wouldn't otherwise be in touch with. But I hate it because, one, it's stressful when you really think about, like, how literally at any time of the day or night, anybody from anywhere in the world can, like, contact me and I get their notification. Whereas, like, before in the 50s when our parents were little, like...
Oh, yeah, they just knew people in their, like, school.
Right. They maybe knew, like, I don't know, 500 people throughout the course of their life. I have no idea where I'm getting that number from. But, like, now we're exposed... Like, we have the potential to know, like, millions of people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fucking stressful. Also, I was on Instagram last night, actually, so this is good you brought this up. And I was going through other people's stories, and for some reason, like, right now, it seems like 50% of my Instagram friends are in fucking Greece on vacation. I don't know why everybody is in Greece right now. They're not even, like, friends with each other. But no, everybody's on vacation and looking fucking beautiful and living their best life. And I'm like, God, they're my age. Like, how do they have the money to do this?
Yeah.
Like, that looks so nice. Like, here I am sitting in my fucking parents' house, like how do they do it? And, like, I'm here. So I, like, took a picture of my no makeup self and posted it and just said, like, hey, everybody's been looking super beautiful on Instagram, so, like, just in case you needed to see this, here's a picture of my no makeup face sitting in my parents' house. I'm 29, this is where I live. So if you think everybody else is living this majestic life, they're probably not, and you're not alone in thinking that.
Wow.
And dude, I didn't even know that that many people viewed my story, but, like, that is the story that has gotten the most responses since I was ever on Instagram. Like, 10 people responded, and they were like, oh my God, thank you so much for posting this.
Seriously?
Like, really?
Yeah,
okay.
Dude. I mean, everybody feels like... I feel like that. I mean, I have people... I'm 26, and there are people my age who you feel like as you get older, you make more money, but now everybody's, like, I don't know, making apps and, like, being influencers. But I feel the same way. Like, you're not alone in that at all.
Yeah.
Comparing through social media is, like, a hobby that most of us have.
Oh, yeah. I compare. And then I stalk, too. Like, this recent breakup I had, we're still Facebook friends. And every status, or he mostly posts memes, and I'll go, and he'll only get, like, 2 or 3 likes. He doesn't have a lot of Facebook friends, so I'm like, who those likes, though?
Yeah, like, who is that? One
like,
or 2 people?
This fucking girl. There's this fucking girl who liked, like, 7 of in a row. And I'm like, well, they're obviously talking.
Who's she?
She's obviously in that house that I used to live in, and... well, this is just not okay with me, blah, 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 blah. And, like, I have no idea, you know? And then, like, recently she didn't like his last few things, and, like, maybe they are fucking, and she just she broke her phone, right? So that's why she didn't like his last few memes, but maybe they're not. Maybe he doesn't even know her in real life, and they're just Facebook friends. I don't know. So I just get myself all worked up about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like my life would be better if I was just totally off social media, but I'm like, I gotta see.
Have you ever done, like, a cleanse?
No.
Okay.
I wish I could be like, yes. But, no, I thought about it a lot, but I just never...
You should try it. Even for, like, I mean, I've done one for a month, not longer than that, but, I mean, it was probably the most present I've ever been. So,
really?
And I was really happy, so... And a lot of people I know that have done them, too, it's like a refresher, like a reset.
Yeah.
I should do that. I don't know. Just food for thought. Okay, we're back. Real-time rewind. It started raining. We're inside now. So, yeah, most challenging thing. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. That would be the mental breakdown I had probably 2 years ago. And that was accumulation of a lot of work stress, like work was my life, a breakup, getting off meds that I should have been on, but my ego was like, no, Jode, you're cool, just you don't need meds. So like 9 months after that, I got to this point mentally where I was like not sleeping. My anxiety was so bad, like I would go to work, like I feel like I would like wake up and like zip up in like this adult costume, right? And then like go to work and then be like play the part, and then come home and just like unzip it and go back to my like
real self,
laying on the couch staring at the wall, ignoring my phone when my friends tried to call and be like, where are you? I remember one time one of my friends dropped something off at my house, and they were just like, are you okay? Like, when was the last time you had fun? And I was just like, I don't even know. I don't want to talk about it because it's been so fucking long. So I tried like I don't know, I just tried a bunch of stuff in that time to fix it and nothing worked. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So over like a period of months of like sleeping like 2 hours a night and like not really doing anything to like take care of myself mentally, it just got to the point where I would like collapse in a heap on my kitchen floor and like hold my head because my thoughts were so loud. Like everything in my house had to be like how this table right now, I don't think viewers can see it, but like the
let's show them.
The books are a little angled, and like that would not have flown. Like I would have not have been able to talk to you until these books were like very straight and everything was symmetrical. So one night I like went out dancing with some friends because I thought that would help, and I came back and I just didn't sleep, and I started crying at like 4 in the morning, and at like 4 in the afternoon like I was still crying. And that sounds like I'm exaggerating, but like I promise you I'm not. Like there would be a few times in that like 12-hour window where I would like stop for maybe like a couple minutes and then like start crying again, like crying so much like I was like nauseous, I couldn't eat, like I hadn't slept, and like I don't know, I was running on like very little sleep. And I ended up calling my parents, and I was just like, I don't know what's wrong with me, like we got to do something. Like I don't know if I need to go in a psych ward or like something's, I don't know what to do. So my mom like freaked out. So they drove down, they live in Pennsylvania. And I couldn't even be by myself. Like I talked to my best friend from high school who lives in Florida for like an hour until one of my friends from Maryland could drive over to my apartment and sit with me until my parents could come. It was just like this big thing. And then they took me back to their house in Pennsylvania, the one I grew up in. And I ended up getting back on meds, but it was so hard. And like all that stuff I just described to you wasn't even the hard part about it. The hard part was like, I quit my job. I was a teacher and I quit my job in the middle of the third quarter. I took like FMLA leave for health and ended up just never going back. Cause I was like too embarrassed to go back. I didn't want to have to answer all the questions about like, so where were you for 3 weeks? I was just like, I'll just stay out for 2 months and never have to deal with that. So super hard leaving my job. I felt like I was abandoning all my students who I like loved and wanted to see graduate. It was my second year teaching them, so they were like my little babies. In like just such a fucking like ego deflating, humbling experience of like, I'm sure you've interviewed a lot of people in recovery, but at the time I was like, I have 7 years sober. Like this should not be happening to me. Like this, I should be better than this. I shouldn't be having to move back in my parents when I'm 27. I shouldn't be like thinking of committing myself to a psych ward at 7 years sober. I shouldn't be having to quit my job that I like. Okay, I took out $30,000 of loans to go to grad school to have this job, and now here I am like abandoning it. So there was just a lot of really hard like emotional things that just like crumpled the ego that had like built up in me over the years. And like looking back, I'm really grateful for that because I think it helped me in the long run be more humble, a better person, like better able to connect with people. But it sucked going through it, you know. For sure. And it's definitely affected like everything afterwards.
So how did you kind of come out of that funk? Like what had to happen? Was it just like a time heals all wounds thing, or did you have to go to therapy? Or
Oh yeah, I got it back on meds pretty much immediately. And for the first month, because you know antidepressants take like a month to kick in, I pretty much sat in my parents' living room, played with our cats, and colored like those adult coloring books. I just fucking colored.
I actually really want one. I actually really want one of those colors.
Oh yeah, they're super meditative. So I would just be like in my coloring book because I was like the only way I could like make it through the day. I was like terrified to go to sleep because I was like, I'm never gonna sleep again. Like, and then I'm just gonna die. Like every day, multiple times a day, I would Google like how much sleep, like how quickly do you die from no sleep? Like I was super obsessed with like, I'm never gonna sleep again. I have so much anxiety surrounding sleep. It was just so hard. So went back on medication, that helped, got into therapy. First therapist I went to in that time was terrible. I had been to a couple before in different parts of my life, but I went to one in Maryland, and she was like, oh, you don't need to be in recovery. Your problem is you just, you know, you had a boy treat you wrong. And I was like, was like, what? Like, I literally left that meeting worse than I went in there, and called one of my friends, and I was like, so I don't think I need to be sober because this therapist told me that, like, there's no way that I could be like a real alcoholic addict because I got sober at 18. She thinks my problem is just like I date the wrong guys, which I definitely do. So luckily I had a lot of people in my life be like, maybe go to another therapist.
Yeah,
you know?
like what?
That was crazy. So then I moved back up to PA full time and started going to therapy up there. Found one I really, really liked. Went like once or twice a week in the beginning and then slowed it down. I also like took a lot of time off from work and started working for the company my mom works for, painting apartments at first.
That's
and then like I ended up getting my real estate license with them, and it's like a very low key, low pressure job. And started meditating a lot more, started just taking better care of myself, and caring about myself. So it was like a long process, and I feel like I'm still in that process. It wasn't like an overnight thing or like, oh, I'm on medication, all is better. It was like a complete fucking life change
Process,
yeah.